Okay, Arthur. It's your birthday tomorrow. I know you want to call, and you can call either phone. I have either today, but also I should be watching them though because I have them on silent. I have birthday cupcakes for you. Ones with sprinkles, or I'm sorry, cookies. They are frosted, just like a cupcake would be. Because who would eat a cupcake that's not frosted? That's just a muffin, right? And I have my water. Hello, the almost birthday boy. How was your 4th of July?
Well, I gotta tell you this story about it.
You see fireworks? Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me just tell you this because this is a story here.
Baby, you're a firework. Are you gonna sing that song?
No, but I was out of power with some of my cousins,
mm-hmm.
and I was trying to light a sparkler, and I burned my right index finger.
Oh no, is it still burn?
Yeah.
What is with boys and explosives?
Throughout my whole life, I was out of fireworks. I never had a fireworks accident until last Tuesday.
Oh no. Did you ice it? Aloe? I've been burned, so I always aloe.
No, I just did.
With boiling water.
First they put butter on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you don't want to just cook yourself, just your skin cooking in the heat.
Stella, this hurt.
Yeah, I can imagine. I feel like who in the chat's ever been burned? I mean, here's my hand up. I've been burned.
And that's
I'm clumsy, so
yeah, that's also not to shock you. I found out from my dad that his uncle on his side invited him to his family reunion, which is this Saturday, which is tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, yeah.
Only one problem with that. My birthday is on the exact same day, and he just totally forgot that my birthday was on the exact same day, which is tomorrow.
Well, maybe he thought it would be fun for you to see family, and they could all fawn over you and be like, "Oh, it's your birthday."
Nope, he just got invited. I don't know how many days ago, and I told him the last 2 weeks that my birthday was on that Saturday, and he was shocked at that he messed that up.
Mm-hmm. I bet he forgot his anniversary with your mom before. Don't they always say that? Men forget.
No, he never did. No.
But you know what? Your mom would never forget because she pushed you out.
And now they're asking me, Bella, if I want to go. But I was so shocked about that reaction that he did. I don't know.
Oh, you should definitely go because you never know. I think you'll never be upset.
But then what about?
I've never had a family reunion. I've never got to go.
But then what about calling you?
Well, I mean, you're calling me right now, and I can talk to you on Sunday and ask you how it was. Okay. Just have fun. I think it's a great birthday gift to see the family, to be honest. I mean, so many are passed away.
Yeah, but they're on my dad's side.
So that's great. You can see if they'll look people that look like you or look like your dad.
Yeah.
Are you nervous? Is that it? You have your Adderall now, so you're more yourself.
No. Hold on, my boy. Hey, Ben. I told you what's been going on. And guess what decision she told me? She told me to go. She told me to go to the reunion. How long are we gonna be there? That's the problem right there. Okay, I'm back.
It's your decision. I'm just saying, like, I mean, I would go, but keep in mind, I just lost my mom a couple months ago, so I'm in my feelings about like, oh, I'll never get to see her again, and you know, it's a family reunion. Like, I wish I could go to one. You know, I wish I could go to you and have your family adopt me. It's like, this is my sister Stella.
Yeah, I wish. Oh, Stella. I wish I married you.
I feel like, oh yeah, I guess that is another way of being part of the family. But do they ever really accept you? Like,
yes.
While you were sleeping, when Sandra Bullock's character pretends that she was with a guy, and then while he's in a coma, and then she like falls in love with his family and like not being like so alone. Except you wouldn't be in a coma. Yeah. It was such a cute movie. So, how's your week been otherwise? Good week?
Yeah, it's been a good week. Speaking of the board, I helped out setting that stuff and help set and help put it up. And
yay!
One of my cousins' little kids, she followed. Her name is Destiny. She followed me to the back when I was sitting down watching NXT that night. That Tuesday night. I said, "What? You following me?" That means I picked up and said, "You want to come? I'm gonna get with me." Okay, yes. Want to watch wrestling with me? Mm-hmm. So he sat down for about a split minute, and she was just watching it. Mm. Then she just started playing around in the back. Then she got up on the bed and I said, we gotta I gotta take you down. So I took her all the way back so that she could like be back with the two cousins.
Why is everybody's name Destiny? I swear, it's like I had like 5 people in my class growing up named Destiny. Destiny is more popular name than John. Like every other person in America is named Destiny. Like fat lesbians, then like grown ass men. What's the deal with that? At least maybe they spell it different with like no Y.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, my week has been preoccupied with period. I remember like when I ended date night Saturday, and yes, hello, when the blood floweth, menstruation.
I know, Stella. Shut up, I know. It's your time of the month. It's
been like 6 days, but it's always long. And I feel like I get picked on because I see you every day. You know my cycles. Like, there's maybe shorter and longer. Like, short days and then long. But that's just how I am.
Well, I know that's how you are because you're a girl.
Yeah, but I guess with some people, it's, can be long, can be short. I think that with the cramps, it's not bad every month. But some months it's worse than others. So there's that. But that's been this week. And then I also feel like things are like weird right now. Like on the internet, like what's going on? Like
feeling weird.
Well, yeah.
My hand felt weird after like got booked again. After I got burnt on that day, my right arm, my right knee was kind of shaky.
How does it feel right now?
Still hurts.
It hurts when you touch it? Like touch something?
I'm trying to ball a fist with my right hand.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Is this finger?
But it's healing now.
It will heal.
Huh?
It will heal. It's just, I know.
I know. I've been putting some Neosporin on it.
Mm-hmm. You know, my mom, she used to cook up north in this big pot, and she used to like to make her own like pasta and sauce. But this was this big old pot, like thin, rickety. You know how when something is maybe old and thin, it can become kind of misshapen. So she was using this pot with this 2 heavy hands here, and she spilled it, and that was coming out of my room onto my foot. Boiling hot water. Like, I think that's everyone's like, because that's where it was positioned. So when I think in hindsight, like, what a stupid place, but you know, I think people get fear to drop something like from the stove like that, but to have all of that pouring on my foot, and my stupid ass went to school. Not only did I go to school the next day, but I also had to walk home in high heels and like with like cut off here and like so painful. I would have like bubbles, like it was horrible. I didn't know what to do. I remember crying at night. I remember laying at night and like and I was just a kid. Like I didn't know what to do. My mom would yell at me too.
Your mom made you walk in high heels?
I had the Key Club. It was a volunteer club at the school. You could volunteer like.
I don't give a fuck fucking with some type of the other thing. You should be needing help after that accident.
Yeah. So I can remember laying in bed at night. I know what the room looked like, a little room with a white wall and my little twin bed. And I remember looking up and crying and like, please God, it hurts so bad. I remember the feeling of like this dryness, this almost like itch, but just like you wanted to soothe it, but it was like nothing could work. Oh, I remember. I was getting water. Wow, I haven't thought about this since it happened. I was getting like buckets or of cold water, and so I wasn't even sleeping at night, like because it was hurting so much that I put my foot to be like off the bed, like in the water. Ugh, it was awful.
Well, that worked. Well, that shit, that worked.
Yeah, I mean, you guys see my feet all the time, and some of you are. So it's actually this particular foot. You see more than the other one. I mean, but because usually I'm like on this side, although I love both my feet equally. But yeah, my foot's fine and not a mark, but it was very painful, and so I know what you're saying. Like you make a fist or something touches there in a movement.
Mm-hmm.
How it feels like that it lasts forever, but it'll get better. Burns are really bad. Burns are very bad. You know, I had a dream, or really a nightmare the other night, that my house lit on fire. And I was just trying to save my dogs. I was trying to get them to get out of the house, and Rex wouldn't go, and Field was going in and out. Like, get out, Rex. You know? And I remember when I woke up, I was like, where are my dogs? Where are my dogs? And there they were then in the bed. I'm like, okay. Because I didn't know if they were okay.
Thank God it was a dream, man. I don't want to see. I don't want you to experience that for real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it was just, I don't know what made me, you know, it could have been like, I'm wondering if I took something to sleep or like a melatonin or at least some type of a Benadryl, like, because sometimes when you have something, it can make your dreams even weirder. But yeah, I know, like, that guy that wrote that song, the Blues Run the Game, he had like full body burn when he was a kid, and he even eventually I think died from it years later. So when he was ground, and it just caused so many problems. I think they say like the younger that you are, you can have like more burns. Like when they talk about a victim like has burns and like what percent of their body, it's like, yeah, I think I must have something to do with like the healing. So like at your age, just the hand, you're gonna heal fine. But yeah, burns are serious. Yeah, you don't wanna play with that. But I've never been into fireworks. I feel like all this stuff about like explosives and people have memories of like, oh yeah, their cousin that got fireworks growing up. I never had that. I never had any interest. Little cherry bombs and nope. I think that there's just something that draws them in to fire. I don't have it about me. Like I suppose there's some people, isn't there like a mental illness where you're like obsessed with fire? You're like an arsonist. So
Yeah.
If you can get your mind off your hand for a little while, do you have a song planned tonight?
2 of them, and got a prayer for you.
Well, you should pray for your ham.
I am. Lord, I guess you saw what happened to me last Tuesday. And I never felt the pain of a firework happen to me. But it did. But I'm going to take time for it to heal and just concentrate on turning 42 in 24 hours.
Woohoo!
It's going to be the best birthday ever. With my family.
With your family.
And with other people. And Lord, as for Stella, give her good happy dreams that are bad.
Yeah, give me sexy naughty dreams about what's his name in the book? Tom Hardy. About naughty professors giving me hummingbirds and their forearms. Amen.
Now, this is song number 1 or number 2. So this one here is late. I wasn't even born yet. But every time I see this outside, it's kind of like I'm grazing. More like I'm grazing in the grass.
He's grazing in the grass. Sounds very Charlie's Angels.
Smell of rain in the grass. In the grass is a cat, baby, can't you dig it? Just watching as the world goes past. In the grass and the baby, can't you dig it? There's a don't be good, they can see what you're digging in the grass. That's in sight in the grass. Sun beaming down between the leaves. And the first darkened in out of the tree.
Can you dig it?
It's so clear, you can see it. Everything is so real, you can feel it. It's real, so real, so real, so real, so real, so real, so real. Woo! Oh, let's oh, let's get it. Can you dig it, baby?
Wow, that was great. Thank you.
It's waving. Present the kid, and you hear the part, the stars getting out of the tree. That was.
That's from the 70s.
For the next one.
How very disco.
Well, it was a song in 1969.
1969.
Yeah.
Was the summer of 69.
Now, for the. Oh. Yeah. Here it is. Now, for this song here, damn, ad out. Now, for this song here, this is one of the classics of this group. I sang this group before, but with different songs. Because tomorrow is a big day for me.
Woo-hoo.
And it was not Stevie Wonder's happy birthday. But when I wake up for my birthday, I just want to get up early in the morning for that. Okay.
Early in the morning.
First thing is, let me say, 1980s.
There's Sheer in the back, I think. But, yeah.
Oh, man. You know, I love you. You left me. Oh, man. No, I can't tell you were gone. I was young and foolish. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know I lost until you gone.
I don't know.
Oh, man. You know I love you, and you were gone. On my birthday tomorrow, so I gotta get up early in the morning, finding me another lover. So I gotta get up early in the morning, yeah, finding me another lover. So I gotta get up early in the morning, finding me another lover. Gotta get up early, finding me another lover. Now I got to get early in the morning. Cause the early bird, flowers texting the word. Now I gotta get up every morning. Gotta make up for us. This is the one. Gotta find me a lover that won't run from her. Gotta find me another that love never. Gotta get up in the morning. I'm finding me another lover. So I gotta get up early in the morning. Finding me another Early in the morning. Woo! That was the Gap Band.
What inspired you to sing that?
It was my birthday is tomorrow because tomorrow morning I'm going to get up in the morning for my 42nd birthday and just have a good smile and just enjoy the day.
A smile.
Yep.
You know what? I love you more every year. That means a year from now, I will love you
more
even
every
more.
year too.
So I just want you to know that we all love you more every year, and you get better every year. And I can't wait to see the. I want to cry. The man that you're becoming is so wonderful. Okay. You're such a sweetie. So let me know on Sunday if you're not around tomorrow. How
all right.
I am gonna wish you a happy birthday though on OnlyFans, and yeah, just enjoy your birthday, and I love you.
You do.
Paulo, are you I couldn't talk while he was singing. I didn't want to be rude. Are you Brazilian? Because I hear in Brazil they speak Portuguese, right? Because I heard that Brazil. Hello. I heard that Brazil is like really dangerous. Like people are always getting eaten by things in the ocean, like whales or dolphins or sharks, because like they poop in the ocean and there's like poop everywhere, and that's where you go to the bathroom. But you'd be like doing a poop in the ocean, and like an animal kills you. So I was just wondering if you ever had any like animal attacks while you're pooping in the ocean or something. I'm curious because I don't know any other people that are Brazilian. And that's really like all that I know about Brazil. But how are you?
Princess.
Princess! I had a princess costume I was almost wore tonight, but I'm like, no, that's for like a blue eyeshadow because it's like Cinderella blue. The Roger and Hammerstein Cinderella with dark hair. Not the Disney one with the blonde. I suppose I could put a wig on, but your girls are brunettes. So, I was like ringing up with Arthur, but then we got into about like his hand because Anne is hurting. With the burn. Boo boo. Like, kiss your boo boo.
Well,
But
I got burned.
yeah.
I got burned on my account.
Oh no, what happened?
I checked in Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
All my money was wiped out.
Oh my god, you've been having a hell of a time. Did they catch who did it?
I think it's ongoing
Yeah.
investigation, but
Yeah.
I did get something.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's so evil.
Yeah.
And you work so hard. Why would someone do it to you? Like, of all the people, there's like really evil people in the world. Why would they do that to you? That's so horrible. Bad karma.
There's so many possibilities of how they get it.
Yeah. Sometimes I think there should be harsher penalties on thieves because, like, there need to be really disincentivized to not do that to people. Like, you can really, you know, they say it's nonviolent crime, but people kill themselves over money all the time. You know, it's like that person got that manslaughter, you know, was texted the guy like, oh, you should kill yourself, whatever. But it's kind of like manslaughter if you kill yourself over money that was stolen from you. Not that you should. I'm just saying, like, it can fuck with people. You know, I feel like that Madoff, some people, like when he stole their money, some of them killed themselves. I think including his son, but yeah.
I've seen, I think there was a situation I heard somebody was snatched and was to go through their ATM or go through all their account and get out. Then got thrown out the car or got thrown out the van. I think it was in front of my house. A long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard them stealing people's information from a gas station. Like, can you imagine their card? They type in because they're going to work, take care of their kids or just trying to get by in life. Like that's what I mean. It's like I almost understand a little bit of like a Robin Hood mentality. Like these people are starving. They will steal from the rich and help the needy or something. But like, what you're picking your victims just because they have to work because they're there. Like this is so evil. I got it. Yeah, of course. Like I don't even say an excuse for. And of course, Robin Hood was made up with villains. Yeah, but usually people don't even try to go after rich people because they'll have lawyers. They have more muscle to get you. So a little guy, somebody like below them, usually it's like, what's he gonna do? But there are agencies, there are places that go after these people, and but very often you find that you're not the first person they did it to. It's like a repeated thing. They just like stacking up victims, which is so wrong. But I'm afraid it's like things seem to get worse in some places, but I don't know. I mean, I was gonna say like this week I had my period, so I don't know if it's just like in my head, but I feel like things are strange this week elsewhere. Like I know it's like, well, I remember like it was like last week or something, and I was like, hey, what's going on with Twitter? They say I live under a rock. If I don't know what's going on. And then I guess there's like this Threads website now, which I don't have Facebook, I don't have Instagram, sure as hell not joining whatever else. But it just got me thinking like how weird it's gone. So I remembered that when I first heard about Twitter, it was I got a free copy. I was a kid. I got a free copy of Newsweek magazine. It was a subscription, and there was a blurb in Newsweek, like in the little side column inside, and it said something Twitter, like a picture. Like I think it was the first time I ever saw like the symbol, and you have to keep in mind like during the time there was all kinds of like news. Well, I'll get to that. This is what it said, something like this. And this is just my memory. I don't know if I can find it somewhere. This is what I remember is. So there was a lot of like conferences or tech conferences or or conventions. So they said that, there's this new site, Twitter, where people are using at these conventions to keep up with each other, like in like groups or something, where it was kind of like, so I think at that time, there's like 8 people on it or something. It was like only like the very, what do they call them? The early adopters, but it was free. And I remember signing up and nobody was there. So like there was a blog 11. So for makeup blogs or something, every like once in a while, like one of the girls would have a Twitter, and they're like, oh, she has one. There was like nobody else. But I remember Twitter was Ashton Kutcher was like the big person on Twitter for a while. He I don't know if he invested, but he was the first one that was promoting like hashtags. He was doing these interviews and said like, oh, there's this new thing we're doing. It's called hashtag. Have you heard of that? So we'll put it, because there wasn't like search. It wasn't so easy to like search. So if you did it by hashtag, and then I guess they adopted that. And he did this thing. It was like, and this is what I wanted to get to. I was or from this. Okay, there's like a film festival like in like Utah. It's famous, but so in that time they wanted to promote a film, or maybe it was the festival or something. And so he did this competition, because I think Megan Asha from Non Society got to be in it. And so that's why I was following it. It was like, you could like check in on your Twitter, and it was something like where it's like a reality show, almost like of a contest. But it was like sort of, it's like people would think of new things to promote something, try to get what I guess they would call at the time like virality or hype or whatever. So
Sundance Film Festival.
Sundance, that's it. Yeah, Sundance. It was something Sundance. So and he even would flirt with like, I think he was dating like Demi Moore at the time, which is funny because he's with that Mila Kunis now, and she famously doesn't have any social media at all. But anyway, like they would like flirt. But what I was saying is how, what I thought was fascinating when I was a kid, like about it was things that seemed like new. Like, but there was even this, I remember the year person of the year, Time Person of the Year was you. And there was such this lie spread that I learned very early, like that was completely not true. Like that you could do what you want, like that, like the online was some kind of democracy. They used to say, make your own Twitter, to the right, make your own Twitter if you want. Because it was like, this is private. But like things that happened to me, like I would get like, if something was being more successful, boom, taken down, banned. Or something like it would be basically, if something is popular somewhere, it's because the site behind it wants it to be. Like it wants that person to still be there, I've been banned enough times to realize that, like, whatever, like with me, I'm not who they want you to watch. So, but so I became disillusioned by it very quickly that this is not a way to reach people in a real way, where like in a way of basically an equal number of, say you want to have like a show. Well, like you could find an audience online. Well, any way to have that level of an audience, you would have to have approval of the people in charge of that. I think Terry wrote me that there's like this lady on YouTube called Colleen, and he's like, have you heard of her? There's like this drama where she's like hires kids to work for her for free or something. And I was like, well, it seems like if they're promoted by YouTube or whatever, like these are the people they pick. And I don't know why. It's like, wouldn't it be somebody like me? It'd be somebody like that that's allowed to stay. I get banned, But I remember thinking how exciting. Oh, this is what I was going to say. When I saw that thing about Twitter in the Newsweek, that there was a time, you think things are like new now. Like there's a new Twitter. There was a lot of things that have already either been done, but social media has never really been profitable. There was actually like more in the past than there is now of things that when people could first try it. So I think with Twitter, I probably did think it wouldn't be around, because most things didn't last. And so looking at it now, I feel, this is what I realized like this week. So I liked that things would be new, original ideas, like that contest that's Southwest or Sundance, that it was an original idea. Okay, but the internet became like you couldn't tell anybody. Like if I would tell people, like when I would do an audition or something, that like I had a YouTube channel, or like was like, what is that? What is, like, you're either like really strange, like, huh? What is this? But then what it became is, with like Twitter, it's nobody's doing it. So anything you do, like, we're going to invent hashtags. We're going to invent this thing. Everything has become so boxed in that it has to, so other people have to do it. And then that's what you have to do. And that's what's happened to me is I got so fed up with people treating me like literally the only things that are approved for me to do is what somebody else has already done. And it's like, what's the fun in that? I've never been like that, though. Like, even when I got interested in stuff, it's because it was like new ideas and different and being creative. And thinking about what's happened like with Twitter or this like new site and this new, it's like, no, these the more things change, it's like this is not anything new. And I've been over it for and people are realizing I'm worried that people will start attacking me more, because if they're like addicted to rage and they lose like their account, and so they'll come and try to attack me because it's a place to put their rage. And it's like, no, like I've been away from that. Like I don't want that. What are your thoughts? Are you going to join the new Twitter, the old Twitter? Are you even on Twitter?
Let's see.
If you have $1 billion, you have to. I don't understand all this promotion of fighting. What?
No, not at this time.
Billion. Fighting is like, it causes brain damage. Like I said, it's like the more that you do it, the worse you get at it. I don't know how tough you look by being punched in the head till you knock your lights out. You go unconscious. Like, you're brain damage. These people look like brain damage.
Boxing.
And then, it's like saying, "Oh, I'm really good shot. I'm really good because look, I've been shot in the arms 36 times." Well, you're probably the worst. Like, that's not good. But it's like, it just seems literally barbaric, literally backwards, the way we talk about fighting in a ring or fighting. Like you're literally retarded. And I mean that in like real sense, which is horrible. But it literally makes me sad if I look at it too much, the faces of these fighters. It's an actual... What?
Like Muhammad Ali.
A duel?
Oh.
I mean, I've heard Muhammad Ali is smart, but...
Well, yeah.
Oh, did I get a call here?
Yeah. He's been taking a lot of hits. Over the years, that was perfect. I think his last fight was look at Joe Frazier.
Yeah, I done. I just looked this up. MMA fighter. If you look at, I don't know who these people are, but if you look at their faces, every single one of these men are severely brain damaged. Like, you could just tell behind the eyes, like the light behind the eyes. This is like very sad. It's like when somebody does like meth and you see their like mugshots, and it's like, what did you do to your brain and your teeth, your skin? But so anyway, all this talk about fighting, and it's like, really? Like, this is cool and modern? Why don't you just go in a coliseum and call it like really the way of the future? The faces of meth.
I don't know. It all dates back.
I saw something. People were talking about, it was like a story of like, chest feeding. I guess they don't call it breastfeeding if you're like trans man, to like your baby, like that it could be harmful or hormones, like they don't know. But I'm just like, hello, I've been saying this forever. If you take steroids and you hold your baby, especially your daughters, you're taking all this testosterone, absolutely, through the sweat, through the glands, doesn't just need to be the nipples, will get absorbed on that child. Like you say like it's endocrine disrupting, like lotions, everything gets through the skin. Everything is, you know what I mean? Like, it's an organ that will absorb. Yeah, and your fucking girlfriends too. It's just like, they're grown women, they can make their own choices. If you want to like hug your man's and he's on steroids and you become a hairy beast, cool. Like, that's your right. But I mean, yeah, I've always been saying, I think it's really strange for men to do that have little kids, little girls, because you're dripping in steroids. Everything comes out some way. So everything it seems to be, this is like the new thing. And it's like this is not a new thing at all. Everything about this era, everything about not to get political, but like this last like few years, there's been no evolution. If anything, a devolution, at least in this country. I can't speak to other countries, but like, and the only reason I said not to get political is just because it's like the same, like the president is somebody that's reliable. We've known for a long time. It doesn't need to be a new flashy. You can't get like an Obama every year or whatever, like Trump, whatever, the new person. But like, it does feel like we've been kind of stuck in, like when I heard like, oh, next year it's an election year, it's like, wow, what has even happened? And before that, even with Trump's, like, what happened then either? Like, people fighting online, but like, what happened?
Yeah.
They want to prove they're a tough guy. Like, we didn't get healthcare. Both these billionaires.
Too many distractions for me to me. Like, going on.
Yeah, you know what? Like, should be done, I think, in this country, more detective work, more policing, like going after people that steal money, like from you, like from the victims, of all the things they put like resources into. That's like people complain about like the IRS, but ideally the IRS is self-funding. An IRS agent ideally will bring in more than the cost of their salary, especially, crawling back on any of these big players. Like they say, like, oh, corporations should pay what they owe. That helps because they don't have very many like punitive arms. I guess you have like traffic stops to pay for things, but otherwise it's like that would be good. But people will support it too if they go punitively after people that like steal like from you. They give them a fine, and that helps pay for like more investigations or whatever, and you get your funds returned. But I don't know why we don't do stuff like that.
Well, they got some returns. So, what else? Actually, I've been trying to be patient with that. I might have to look into the IRS. But you've been keeping me up, and I've been up there, cheering me up and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a rough week, hasn't it? And last week, I saw you, and were like, pray for me. That must have been driving you crazy.
Oh, yeah, man. It was like, I didn't know what, I got bills, so I had to take care of my bills and stuff. I didn't know what was going to happen to my bill. I didn't even know if it was going to ever see my name up on your OnlyFans. But I'm back, so I'm good for now.
Yeah, well, hopefully this week will go better for you and both of us.
Yeah, I appreciate your prayer.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I keep praying. It's like there's I pray for all of us that we don't fall victim to the bad guys out there that are hunting for victims constantly. There are predators in this world that prey on humans. So, but I love you, and hopefully like we have a nice time tomorrow, I'll cheer you up, and the rest of the show will cheer you up.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Mwah.
I love you too.
Good night.
Love you, girl.
Oh, I feel so bad. Okay. I have both phones. I'm holding them open now, so because I thought I had a call. No. Hey, Terry. I was just talking about you about something. Something you sent me. Yeah, I think that it's just they realize they're public figures, and so they get like jacked up. But it's anything. It's realizing you have a public image. Like, you know how people like make fun of like politicians, how they look a lot. Like, I'm thinking like Daily Show kind of humor. You know, like, oh, it's Hollywood for ugly people. So when you realize like your image is going to be posted a lot. That's what happens to people. Even with actors, they can tend to get like more and more like surgery and hire stylists. And it starts with because people pick apart your appearance. So I would imagine a lot of this like being tough or whatever starts at they realize they're getting picked on for how they look, and then you try to fight back, and it's a never ending battle because if people want to pick on you, they'll pick on you for anything. You can't appease the mob ever, and not for long, because sometimes it'll build you up just for the fun of tearing it down. Yeah, like how some animals kill for fun. That's how some people are. It's like, we have nothing to kill, so let's build this so we can kill it. Like, even with Zuckerberg, they might say like, oh, right now, like, he's, fit, and look at this, but it's so like they'll enjoy it if he like, has to take some medication or, becomes disfigured or something. Be like, oh, look what happened. Hello.
Hello.
So, do you want to fight another man to prove your manhood?
No, not at all. I'm too old to take an ass whooping.
Honestly, if society is like that, like if we lived in a society where you have to prove yourself by physically fighting, that would not be a place like worth living. I would rather move somewhere else. Like if there's a school like that and you're like, well, their kids being bullied, they got to learn to fight. No, you have to learn to go to a different school. Like, not every school is like that. And this is clearly, there's not enough disciplinary measures on these bullies. It's like, so I don't believe like every country that would happen, like where you would have to be like that, or every place. There has to be communities that are less violent. So if it devolved into that, where you have to like beat each other up to like, let's not do that.
Man, it's violent society. People, a lot of people they love to fight. People love to fight.
I'm a people. I don't love to fight.
Well, yeah. So like.
You know what? I'll tell you what. The first thing that pops in my head at the idea of being approached for a fight, like on the street, is fear.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah. Mm-hmm.
The second thing I was going to say is, and if I'm being harmed too much by this person, somebody nearby may shoot that person that's attacking me and kill them. So fear for both of us in that moment. So
that would be me.
Aww.
I'm too old. I'm too old to fight, so I'm going to be popping some caps.
Yeah, but it's like I don't think, oh, somebody's fighting with me, and then I think, oh yeah, this is exciting. I'm gonna fight. Like, no. Again, I protect my head. I don't want to become brain damaged. I don't want to get pounded in the head.
Exactly.
Honestly, once upon a time, fighting was fun. Oh my God, Terry, why are you so British? That's
Terry is so British.
isn't that like certain parts as a teen? Yeah. Vanity
So
shame after blistering.
How you feeling? How you feeling today?
How am I feeling today? Well, physically tired, like in a sense of you get depleted through your menstruation, things, minerals, things. It needs I need to sleep tonight. So the week, and then finally I'm like on the ups, but
you need to eat some dark green vegetables.
Beets. I might have some bag of frozen vegetables.
They're high in, I think dark green vegetables is probably high in iron, right? Like spinach and stuff like that, and kale. And I'm not sure about broccoli. Broccoli is very good for you too.
Are they striking now too? Oh, yeah, the UPS.
The strike? You talking about the strike?
Jerry says they're not. The UPS not delivering hazard materials. Well,
Oh, okay. So I can't have no. They won't deliver my ammo then, huh?
Well, I was gonna say, what's a hazard? Like.
Yeah, I think ammo is
medication. Those aerosol air fresheners. Those Febreze. Is that batteries? Those
batteries, yeah.
Yeah, Jerry said batteries.
Damn, they gotta come to some type of agreement really quick, because I can't have them not delivering my ammo.
Well, I did not hear. Let me see.
Nail polish.
Nail polish is very flammable.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
And it is summer, and they say that not all the vehicles have air conditioning, so it could be really hot.
Well, they had just passed. I think they had just come to an agreement, and they did okay having air conditioning units installed in all the trucks. I heard about that several weeks ago, that they had come to that agreement.
That's like a third world country. That's like, again, that is like, you would think hundreds of years ago in America, not now. But you know what? In the summer, you don't want to leave your dog in the car. You don't want to leave your kid in the car. You don't want to leave yourself in the car.
Right.
And cars are dirty. They smell bad. That's not a place to live,
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many times have you cleaned your car? Because you'd be tracking stuff on your feet. And you getting dirty. You be having those like McDonald's hamburgers and throwing them. You take the bun and throw it. You get mustard on the floor.
Get mustard and mayonnaise, ketchup all over the freaking place.
Yeah, you don't want to be living in a mayonnaise oven.
Oh, that's pretty gross. You have fucking shit growing in there.
Van life. I should have had AC already. Yeah.
So how's your butcher block doing?
I love that butcher block. I do. You should consider trying it. They probably have a deal if you're new. Not sponsored. I mean, I'm not sponsored by anyone except for like you guys, Daryl, like to sponsor me, pay for my cookies. But I'm only saying it as like I've actually tried this, because I was thinking the other day, I was saying to Pale, like, that I don't believe in testimonials. And I was like, I used to,
Mm-hmm.
I would pay for these coconut oil supplements because it was said like, well, they would cure my acne by like purging out my skin or something. And there was so many testimonials. It's always something like, this changed my life. This, like, especially if it's like an MLM or something, but people could be incentivized. It could be a placebo. It could be, like an affirmation biasing. It could be, again, like, could be some type of incentive, whatever it is. It could be sabotage, so that other girls will take that and waste their money on this shit. Who knows?
It's funny because I was looking at coconut oil just a couple of days ago at the grocery store. For cooking, coconut oil for cooking. And they wanted like $20-something for a bottle of coconut oil.
No, these are $20 for supplements. But what I'm saying is, I'm giving you this as somebody like with the Butcher Block. I literally do try it, and I my uses for it are because I'm not a good cook. So if it comes, it's like the same, then it's easier to not screw it up and burn it. And I have something coming, so if I don't see anything in the store, I know I'll have some meats coming. But
so what was it? Oh, I'm listening.
But I've never been like paid by them. I'm like, it's not like I don't have a code or anything. I'm just saying like, oh, I've tried. So I'm not giving a testimonial with any, there's no benefit at all. If anything, you'll have less money to give me anything. But I don't care. You got to eat, and it's good. So go for it.
I'll tell you what you had. What was that you cooked these a couple of nights ago? Was that from the Butcher Block? Was that the scallops?
Yeah.
Or shrimp?
At the beginning
at
the beginning of the year, they did a special that for $100, you would get scallops if you signed up. Only them, I think it was 100 in every box that year. So it was already paid for before, but you get it every month. So that's like 12. And I thought, with the food going up, I wanted to like lock in that price, that I would always have like a nice meal to look forward to, like, like a treat. So they were.
So you pay a certain dollar amount, and they send you like.
You can alter it. You can decide what you want in your box that month.
Oh, you can decide what you want.
No, I like to get the steaks because, like I said, especially if I have my period and I'm learning how to cook them. But you could get burgers. You could get chopped meat, like ground, yeah. I'll have cornitos, but
steak and some seafood. Right?
Sometimes you can get like a freebies, or but.
But is that the name of the company, Butcher Block?
Butcher Box. Yeah, Butcher Box.
Butcher Box.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I like it, yeah. But this is from somebody that's not that experienced. So it's like, but still, I mean, I think it's
interesting.
And it's a good concept because it's frozen. It comes frozen. So it's not like.
It comes frozen, yeah.
Yeah. It's not like it's like fresh food that you really want soon, and because almost all things that are meat start frozen, I think, for shipping.
Well, that's great because you can go to the supermarket and you can pick up a package of meat that has a sell-by date, say 2 days. You have 2 days before the sell-by date. And if you take that meat home that 2 days before that sell-by date and put it in your freezer, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because it's frozen. So it's not aging or going bad because it's in a frozen state. Now I think turkey, like I had a turkey, I think frozen turkeys could last up to a year. As long as it's kept frozen in your freezer.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So,
I'm also in California, and so food is expensive here. So ordering it from a different state, it's usually you're not paying like an upcharge compared to where you are locally anyway. If it's they make it like in the middle of the country or something.
so where is that company based out of?
I don't know, but I don't think they're from California because it's a national thing.
And they
But yeah,
also
it was
have
scallops, and you could probably get them in yours. I mean, but that's why I get them. I don't. It's for every month this year, so the year's half over now. So
Yeah,
we'll see if they do a
can't
different
remember
deal.
the Last time
What?
I can't remember the last time I coffee scallops.
Well, I get better at cooking them. The first ones I've made, I burned. But then I get better because you want to have a little butter, but you're not too long or or too short.
They don't take but a couple of minutes aside to cook.
Yeah, well, yeah. I gotta flip those suckers though in the right pan.
Oh, okay. Didn't you recently get a new cookware set?
Well, I did. For Christmas, John got me for my wish list, but some of them I burned. Like I still have them, but they've been burning.
Oh.
Like I've been lighting them on fire into ash on the handles, but I still use them.
Come on, baby, light my fire.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I showed you on OnlyFans when I was smelling the fumes.
Yeah,
The
I saw
paint.
that.
And you
lit
get that white.
sucker up.
Yeah, but that's what
So,
that's saying.
you know, a question I've been meaning to ask you:
Mm-hmm.
just on gas or electric?
I think it's gas. Is it?
It's gas. I love to cook on gas, but for the last 10 years or so, everywhere I've lived is it's electric stove. I have an electric stove now, and it's all electric.
Is it safer? Well, I mean, it all has fire, right? So,
It's-
and is it fire
yeah,
from?
it has electric has the heating coils that get red hot.
Yeah, but it
But
doesn't.
it's-
Oh, I see.
But it's
Yeah. Coils.
but it's different. It's different. The cooking on gas and electric is totally different. I love cooking with gas stoves. I wish I had a gas stove.
Electric is safer. It's not flip. Yeah. Well, then I definitely don't have electric because I got a flame.
So the trick.
I use it sometimes. I was gonna use it when I light one of Daryl's stress relief candles, because I can't find a lighter, so I light a Q-tip from the stove and with the and I don't know if you could do that then, I guess, with the electric stove.
No, you can't. No. So you just turn the knob and it
Or you to like take your cell phone and put it in the microwave, beep 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 beep, and then when it goes in flames.
I remember the very first time I used an electric stove. I like to burn the fucking house down.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I burnt my finger. I was cooking something and I put oil in the pan and turned on the heat and walked out of the kitchen. To me, it seems like for like 30 seconds or so, it might have been a minute or so, the freaking grease caught a fire.
Yeah, grease. Oh, that burns. Yeah, that burns the skin.
Yeah, that grease hit my finger and burnt my finger and my leg. I had a burn mark on my leg. I was had visited my brother, my older brother. He was living in Connecticut. I like to burn his fucking apartment down.
Well, you know, a lot of cooks, they're very specific what they like, specific knives and tools that they like and things.
Yeah.
That's what I hear. I mean, like from like television or things they write up. Like as a chef, it's like they like specific. Like it's not like, well, if I was a chef, then I could use this like dull knife better. No, if you were a chef, you'd be like, I'm not using that. I'm a chef. Like, get the right knife, or I'm not. Like that's how they are.
I invested in some very expensive cookware. Not very expensive, but pretty expensive.
An Easy Bake Oven. Did you get the pink one?
Stainless steel frying pans. I have like high quality stainless steel frying pans. Aluminum or whatever you want to call it.
Does it make a difference?
Make a big difference.
You actually enjoy cooking.
I have 2 of them. Each frying pan is over $100.
I made Hamburger Helper last night.
That was good. That was pretty good.
No, I'm not. I'm not a chef, but.
Did you use ground beef with that?
Yes, it was gonna go bad. I got it from that Aldi order.
Mm-hmm.
So, remember when from this week when I got my period, and I was like, I don't want to leave the house, so I'm ordering.
Yeah,
it was Sunday.
It looked nice and cheesy. Like, ooh.
Well, the cheese you had to put this like mixture with a little bit of milk, and you had to mix it yourself. That's the thing with like cheap food. Sometimes you have to do a lot of work. Yeah, I don't like that. But that's like fast food nowadays. It might be fast, and you don't want to cook it, but it's not cheap. And sometimes it's not even fast. But you don't have to cook it.
Tacos in a while.
Well, I don't always remember the tortillas. I like soft tortillas, and they can go bad. Yeah. And and I feel like I just have like a personal issue with paying like $8 for 10 tortillas. Just feels like
that's how much.
Yeah, so I'm like, if they only have those and they're not on sale, or then I'm just like, I don't want to pay that. Like
$10. Holy shit.
So I'm like, I don't always remember. Like, I think at Aldi they have a certain kind, and I could grab those. If there is a good expiration. So that's why I figured last night is I didn't have tortillas, but I have this meat that's gonna go bad. So I'm like, oh, why don't I have this Hamburger Helper stuff I bought at the Ross on sale? So hence that was for dinner. But I didn't even get to eat very much because I started shaking. And I had this little bowl, and the dogs wouldn't leave me alone. They just kept looking at me and hitting me. And they're like, we're here. And I'm like, I'm shaking. Let me eat. And I'm like, fine. I can't. I ended up giving them most of it and opened the package.
So do you feed them the same time you eat? That way they have to leave me alone?
They usually will eat after. But they particularly last night wanted some. It was probably my fault for giving them some at the beginning. I was like, here, a little piece. Now you wait. Then they're like, we like this. And it's like, stop. I'm shaking. Like? Plus, the trash went out last night because it was delayed today because of the 4th of July. So they're hearing the barrels. They want to go out, and they just like, I don't know. It just got me really shaky.
But no, it's just annoying you.
Yeah. So when I got up this morning, I had even the pain in my back and here from my spine from the shaking. And then from like my period, I'm just like, and I sit there with my coffee, and I can't even get on the OnlyFans, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, I couldn't get on OnlyFans earlier this morning. You see the message I
yeah.
I couldn't get on.
So it wasn't just me.
It was just timing out, and it said in 15 seconds we'll try again, and we kept doing that. So, and that was for a while, for a good while. I couldn't get on. Yeah.
Well, I think it's done now. Like, at least it's better this morning than tomorrow night. I'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah, really, that would definitely really suck.
Let's have her live. I would just do maybe a different night, but I've been having a week of like, well, I had my vibrator out yesterday. You could kind of see it if you look at the video of me naked on the bed. Like, but I didn't get to use it because I realized I had the time of the month. I was going to use it with the pantyhose I wore last night, and then over like those pantyhose. And I realized I have still that time of the month, and so on OnlyFans, you know, it had the spots I couldn't show that. I have to follow the rules, so I'm all horned up for tomorrow nights.
It's all green light now.
Yes, I'm green light now, but
green light now.
I have to get some rest tonight, and yeah.
You haven't watched anything lately?
Oh, I watched that Wham documentary last night.
Which documentary?
On Netflix, Wham, the band.
Oh, okay.
Was it called a band? It was good actually. It
There
was.
was a couple of movies that I thought might be pretty good.
Mm,
Did you see the message I sent you about those two options?
no, not yet. Sorry. not that maybe I don't remember
Yeah.
what they were. I feel like there's less right now because that writer's strike, so there's like less shows and it's summer. But I take what I can get.
Yeah. Well, I know you like your documentaries.
Well, I think I do. I guess yeah. Well, because I feel like I learn so much about modern times, like before I was born, but like things that you'll hear about, and it just puts a piece to more perspective. Like I must have heard about this band growing up, that they were a band, but then oh my god, yeah, Arthur, your birthday is in like 1 hour.
Happy birthday, Arthur.
So
Sir
I see that another piece, and so I feel like they kind of fill in like a more understanding of things sometimes, and I like that.
Yeah, educational.
Yes, educational, but it helps. One could help understand another one. So if I watch another documentary and it references that band, I'll have a little bit more of like, oh yeah, I know what that means.
I don't know. You have a hell of a memory and a hell of a brain. I don't know how you contain all that knowledge in that noggin of yours.
You're just buttering me up because that is not true. I forgot the word. Yeah, I was on the phone with my sister the other night. Oh my god, she was going through my mom's stuff. My mom had 30 decks of cards. As an example, she told me like she had like hoarded all the stuff, and I was like, "Who needs 30 decks of cards?" Like she had like 10 and decided she needed 20 more. A life-size cardboard cutout of Meghan Markle. I was like, where do you even get one of those? There's like online, I guess.
Wow.
MLM stuff. Oh yeah. But we were talking and crying, like, it's hard. But my younger sister was picking up things, and
So now, do you like what is it?
But anyway, I forgot the word.
Nature programs like National Geographic type of stuff.
No, because I can't stand to watch animals suffer, lose their young, die. Nature is cruel and brutal, and I try to shield my dogs from that. Like I don't like them to know how bad it can be out there in the world. Like when I get like cookies, and sometimes I'll get food from John or the dogs, and I say to them, "You must think this is from God, like that John has sent this to you, or the rawhides. Like life is so wonderful. Like God just sends gifts down. We go out, get them. That life works this way, and like have no idea. But I like that. I want them to be shielded somewhat, like from the cruelty of the world. Why not? Nature is a metal. What? Yeah, I mean, I've actually seen a few documentary type of programs like that have haunted me. Something with I don't know if it was like dolphins or something, where these teams of males fought and bit the mother so they could steal the daughter, like, and rape her. Like, and she spends her life like crying, the mother crying out for her daughter, and the daughter crying out for her mom being abused. And you could hear the cries in the water. Like, that is so horrible. And like I could hear her crying. Another one of them, a mother, like a cheetah, who's one of the babies got taken away, and the mom crying and crying for days for the baby to hear her and realize, like, it's God, that she's not coming back, her baby. And like that something
Yeah,
got her. And then
it's sad.
yeah, I mean, even in movies, if a dog dies in a movie or something, that gets me. But so it's almost like I love the animals, but because I love the animals, I don't like to watch their suffering.
The suffering, yeah.
Yeah, you realize like you have the bird, so you know you can't have every bird. So if you were watching birds be tortured, you'd be like, stop. Like you have bananas, like you can't have 100. So
Well,
like,
I can tell you one thing. These are all I can afford because I'm gonna tell you, I took them to the vet and got a checkup and got some blood work and stuff done. And that's just like a regular fucking doctor. They actually,
yeah, I don't know. Do you think that vets can be like a scam? I feel like, do they really love the animals? I don't know. I mean, they put them down all the time, and then it's like I feel like it's like plastic surgeons as like a for-profit business. You gain more money if you can convince your clients that they're ugly, that what they really need is silicone in their body, you know. So I feel like with a vet, this is private practicing. Like this is like on a level I think of like a cosmetic surgery, although I don't know if the guidelines are the same, but you know, you are there to make money. And so if you can convince somebody that this costs thousands, or like apparently my sister said that they said that to my mom about Sammy, that in order for Sammy to live like another week after my mom's husband died, it cost like $2,000 or something. And it was like, oh, when you would give him more time, like now like your husband died, like so that he could give her all this like medicine or all this stuff like to keep him a little longer. And I think that that's kind of like unethical. Like on one hand, pulling at the love from the human to their
Right.
This is like your family member, but it's not that person's family member. And I don't know. I mean, I know this is horrible. Like, are you going to give hate to veterinarians? I'm just saying, I worry. Like, I think that people should get second opinions more from vets. But if you find a good vet that you trust, that you like, that was nice to your dogs, then consider yourself like lucky. Keep them. But I don't know. I mean, some people, like the lady that gave like Rex the trim, she loved him. She was so sweet with him. But
well, I mean, I found out that he had like a vitamin A deficiency, I think it is. But he's in pretty good health. He's older. He's about 8, 9 years old. But I guess she said like give him more like vegetables.
well, what's old for a bird?
Well, he's like 7, 8 years old, so I don't know if that's the same as dog years or not. I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm not sure, no. I heard
Well,
that,
if he's older, why don't you start putting on Matlock for him?
I heard that if you feed them properly, and they could live up to 20, 30 years. So if you feed them healthy and don't let them eat junk.
Yeah.
So that makes a big difference as well. That's the same as damn human. The human eat junk, they don't freaking live long.
Then you'll see a story of like this woman, it's her 115th birthday. Her secrets are eating bacon and cake and whiskey and cigarettes every day. Like,
right. Yeah, I've been smoking cigarettes for the last 60, 70 years, and I'm healthy as hell. Ain't nothing wrong with me.
Yeah, I mean, so you never know, I guess.
The second they stop doing drinking or smoking is when something happens.
You can do everything right, but in life there is an element of luck. And unfortunately, that can go both ways.
That is very true.
I heard that.
So how's your siblings doing? I know you talked to your sister several days ago. How is things?
Not great. I mean, this is really, really sad. Really, really traumatic. I tried to have a laugh here and there over the ridiculousness of this 30 decks of cards and everything, but she says the way things are packed. You could have something completely meaningless, trash, and then some like, priceless like memory or a piece of paper that's a very important document she needs. Like, and so everything has to be gone through, and it can trigger a memory, sadness, and realizing what this is. And also, it's like you have to go through it. You can't just be like, oh, this is obviously all trash because it wasn't stored like that. So
Yeah.
it's very upsetting. Yeah. Wow, Pale, you have longevity in your family. That's good because they say some of it's genetics, but I don't know with mine.
Yeah, I've heard it is. Genetics plays a part in. Yeah. Some people live up in their hundreds.
I can't imagine having another 50 years though. Why do you say that? You're over it? You're over it all? 50 years of this shit?
Lord, I'm ready. I'm tired of this shit.
I mean, it's nice to have people that you can get solid advice from, like people that really do have a solid perspective. I feel like it's very hard to be alone in both ways, in the sense that people, if you trust them to give you a perspective on you, then they can cut you down. They can tell you that you don't see yourself right, that you're worse than you are. And so sometimes in order to avoid that, to protect yourself, you could shut all of it off. But it is none of us know everything.
No,
so
absolutely not.
But not having somebody that can see you and that you truly feel they're giving you like a real feedback, like that's rare, and that's hard to come by. So I feel like, as far as like with the future and what to expect, so many people have been so wrong. So your idea of like living another 50 years, it's like, yeah, you could talk to somebody that age and they could tell it to you like how it is, or they could lie. You really don't know. Like, I get so much feedback that's completely, how do I say this? I get a lot of feedback, like advice, I should call it. I get advice that I know is solely based on what some people saw somewhere else. Like,
or something they might have experienced.
No, absolutely not. That's
okay.
Like, unless they're straight up lying about their gender and their birth gender, then they've never had a period or things like that, right? So no, you couldn't possibly, in any literal sense, ever experienced like a lot of these things. So no. Anyway, a lot of this feedback, it's things that somebody has seen online, maybe on a YouTube video, maybe they read it at someone's testimonial. Remember those? What I was saying, I don't trust. So now somebody heard someone else's testimonial, and I'm supposed to take that one to the bank. And that, I feel, is like the worst form of, that's not really a valid feedback at all. It's a really poor, like someone tried to say something to me about that I would enjoy my vagina on a jet in my pool if I had one. This is a man. And I said, how do you know? I said, how do you know that? Like, really? How would you know that? Literally, like, you're going to tell me what my vagina would feel based on a testimonial of what?
He knows that because he would like to see you experience.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But things like that, that's the feedback I get. So it's nice when I can get genuine.
You get all kind of freaking crazy ass feedback from from some people.
No, but it's like if I was to say to you, like, put the gay bin on your dick if your dick hurts. It's like, what? Yeah, put the gay bin on it. Like, wouldn't that burn?
Shit.
I know, okay? I saw a YouTube video of some guy saying it, okay? So it would feel good if you do that. Then you're like, Then sure, they're listening to you. It's like, sorry, I'm trying to help. I should keep my mouth shut, I guess. Like, sorry.
That's funny.
No, I don't do that. Like, I literally try to offer what I really think or believe or analyze things or things that have happened to me, or like really more of an experience, but I'm also open to like other people's experiences, So, but yeah, I think as far as like living another 50 years, what does the future hold? It would be nice to be able to ask my mom, to ask older people, but very often it's not accurate. What I've been told about every year to come and the future to come and what life will be like to come has been wrong. Unfortunately, it would be nice to have been right. Like, if you could have, it would be nice if there existed real life fortune tellers of the future, just because they lived older, so you could tell them this is what you expect. They don't really know that much like that. Even doctors is like, they don't have the crystal ball.
No, they don't. Absolutely not.
There's a bias there too. So anyway, I should see if I have another call. But thank you for your lovely call and your interest in asking me questions. They're very sweet.
I love you very much.
I love you too, my hamburger helper. Did you say Miss Davis? Okay. So Terry, if you're gonna call, I will look at this phone. I think John wanted to call, but I haven't seen him. But sometimes he goes out, comes in late. But I'll be on. I have both phones. They're gypsies. Are you drunk? Not playing. Okay. So we'll see if John wants to call. If he's there. John! Maybe he wrote me, but I can't tell. My dad, because he made her mad. Apparently Terry's a troll, so I could just start a fight about something if I really wanted to call. Oh, this battery's low actually in this phone. 15% in that one. Uh-oh. Go for it. Start a fight. No. Uh-oh, I hope they don't die. You sucked the life out of my phone. I'm just gonna see if you were on OnlyFans. Like, hey. I don't see anything. Let's took some alcohol. You're really having a hell of a week, Jerry. But I said no. Oh, you know what? I should see what the movies were that Dwight said. I don't see anything from John. Oh yeah, Outlanders. And then a fisherman with a hidden talent that I could sing. That sound cute, but I haven't heard of those. My sister asked me, she said, I texted her the other night. That was when we started talking. I said, I have a headache. I was laying down. And I said, have you seen the Righteous Gemstones? I think you might like it. It's good. She said, no, but Kate said, and it is, and I like a lot of HBO shows. And she said, have you seen The Idol? And I said, no. It looks horrible. I just said, yeah, I could watch that. Like, it looks horrible too. But the gemstones one, I did say, you might like that. Resist the urge. Oh no. My sister, she we were talking the other day about how she was a waitress at Ruby Tuesday. She was 18, and my grandfather was dying, and he died. My mother wasn't there. She was up north with my grandfather. My sister was working at Ruby Tuesday, and there would be nights like, because you get, I guess I hear, Terry, it's different in other countries, but in America, very often you work on like your tips. So she would like lose money sometimes going to work because if people wouldn't tip her, you get stuck with like a big tables, and then if they wouldn't tip her, she would not even have money to put gas in the car, even like to get some dollars in the store to get gas home. So like, and I can remember her crying. So nice. Like she would help to pay for like if I have soap. Like I was a kid, like I couldn't afford, I wasn't able to like a job. I mean, I dropped out, and started working at Target when I was like 16, 17. But, at that time, my grandfather was dying, wasn't yet. So, we did have food stamps. So we'd go to Walmart sometimes, but it wasn't much. So anyway, it took a long, long time to get money through that place to get the tips to be, because, and the thing is, we were very hungry and my mother was gone. We didn't have lights in our house. And people would say like, oh, she doesn't smile enough, like smile more and then not tip her. But like we were starving and we were like had no lights. Like we're literally talking like, anyway, it was horrible. But so she got together to make a deposit or like a down payment. She got together, I think it was like $800 or $900 in an envelope, and to mail it at the post office. She put it on the counter, and someone stole that envelope from her. And that was the money for her to get out of there and like go to Panama City. And can you imagine a lot of work for that money? And it was stolen. And I remember my mom was screaming at her, and my mom was really hard on her too. But I can just remember the pain of that. So I guess I'm just saying, like, to Jared, like, I understand being so upset. Like, I don't even want to say one day you will get over this, because to this day it bothers me. And like that happened to her, and people used to steal from my younger sister too. Somebody broke into my sister's car to steal $20. They broke the front window. But anyway, I think that it stays with you, but it helps your empathy, even I think, with others. And I think it does strengthen you in a way of resilience, because you know you can survive it. And I do think it does change you in a sense that you appreciate things like even more in a sense, because there will be a time where you will, I think, come into like a gift of some money or like make up for, and you'll feel like, wow, I remember when I felt really bad. So I've had those times happen to me where, you know, like they say in life, like sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, and things like the same. So when the moments, I think, when you get out of this, I think you could look back on like a lower moment like this and feel even better. Like, why? Oh, they broke into your car. Well, my sister, her first job was Burger King, I think, up north. She was like 15. And then my aunt, or she wasn't my real aunt, was she? Yeah, she was my aunt by marriage, but they were married. And so she started, she got her job as a waitress at a pizza parlor that she didn't like own, but she was kind of like either management or close to management, so she could get her in because she's really young. But again, if you're on tips, I don't know if it was on the books or whatever. Like, because I remember she would bring home pizzas on the weekends. I remember Saturdays she would do that at the restaurant, and then my mom would say, "That's why I have my pizza nowadays, mushrooms and green pepper, because those were the toppings my mom used to get." So those were the pizza my sister would bring home pizza. We'd watch Saturday Night Live, but so that gave her the experience then that she did waitressing, and that helped to get that job. She's worked different places, but at that time, there was a time that I worked in the mall at the Christmas store, and she worked, it was like during the holidays, and she worked downstairs. So I was upstairs, she was downstairs she worked at this candy store. And I remember walking over, like, I could almost see her sometimes, or like she would go up, and that was the first time I had a California pizza kitchen, because she would have it. I was like, "What's that?" And and I guess like I thought of that because I just sort of miss those times. It's like simpler. I mean, it wasn't really. I mean, I shouldn't have the rose-colored glasses because I was so unhappy, and this for very hard years. But that moment where I could just go downstairs and see my sister, and she's in the same building, isn't it? Although I guess I could do it again. We could work at a portrait studio if they bring this back. And well, one of you guys get a job at the mall, and I will too, and we can like relive those times. Can't wait for good times. Yeah, tell Jerry to be happy now that he's been robbed. See, Jerry, it's your fault that you're not happy. It's not that. I'm just saying. I think you get a deeper appreciation when you have low periods. I'll tell you, do you guys remember there were like, if you've been following me long enough, it was like a couple of years ago, a few years ago now, I went through this like heartbreak over this guy I never met, don't know what he looks like. I only used to talk to him on the phone, but I was really down on myself, and I thought that he really liked me, and maybe I was a little like the lady in the book, except maybe her story goes better, but where she like dreamed up all this stuff about him, and like then she didn't really know him. So in my mind, this horrible mentally ill person that lived in his sister's attic, was in his 60s. He hadn't worked in over 30-something years. No health insurance, obviously no job, no, like, that that he wasn't severely mentally ill in what he was saying. So anyway, I remember him treating me really bad and thinking this was reflecting on me, that like I just wasn't, because I don't have like experience with these things. So thinking that I just wasn't not even just like deserving of better, because in a way, even if I was being treated that way, I could have also thought, well, this is just how people get treated. I'm just learning it's how, because I didn't have enough experience to even know. But there were days that I would just be like crying and crying. They said something horrible to me, and this horrible woman. And to this day, when I get up even after my mom died, like, maybe that sounds bad to say, like, I cried more over that. But it really was more of it like fucking with my head, and part of with my mom's death. There's been some of a resiliency to keep going for her. And like this, yeah, like there's more of a solidness to this, that sort of pain, where the other pain was more of anger, and I hated the world that I would deserve so little, you know. But anyway, I would get up and feel less depressed as that, and I will look at myself, and I can remember looking at myself before. Even sometimes I look back and I look like skeletal, or I look like it's more sad, you know, because I had been crying and all this. And I look better now to myself, like just look in the mirror. And I think a lot of it is I take better care of myself. I take my vitamins. I'm really tight, like vitamin regimen, but also, I think I'm healthier because like I'm not so always like crying and sort of, and just knowing, like having gone through that, being so miserable, it actually makes me enjoy now even more. Yeah. So I feel like when Terry said that about, sometimes, you know, you're gonna have bad days. You're gonna have, but I think that when times get better, it actually helps put it in more, because you're gonna look back like I do and say, "Wow, I beat it. I overcame," and it means a lot. I know. I would like to happen again. Well, yeah, because he would talk to this girl, and it was weird, and he would like lie about it and not tell me things, and that would make me so mad. It's like so jealous. I'd be like, it's awful. I'm like, you know what? I lose. I don't care. And just I don't remember because I never got what. What are you talking about? That doesn't make sense. The son of it rainborn. Well, it was more like there was something that cast over me of pain that wake up, it's again. Wake up, it's again. Wake up, it's, and I just start to feel like it's not going to get better. And I, knowing that it is, and knowing how lucky I am that I am out of that, and how crazy and stupid I was, and how wrong, you know. And I think the OnlyFans helped with that too, because it was like you really get shown like, no, other people are nice, and other people, like, not everyone will treat like that, and just flat out opposite of things this person had said. Yeah, that's like, that has helped me too. But yeah, I think when you have enough like the really dark days that you're almost resolved to it, that this is now your life. It's just in the darkness. When you're out of it, because it was so bad, I think it just adds something. Like it's like it's like not stolen time, but like you've won something, some wonderful gift that you didn't even expect was still there for you, that you could actually feel better, look better, be happier, have more friends. Like, realize the opposite of that is true. Like, I think, yeah, you really don't really know what the future has in store for you. In so many ways, it can be so much better than you think. Big day tomorrow. Yes. Happy birthday. I would feel ambition. Good not to lose her. Well, also, I was really like the conversations he wanted to like dump at the end of the day, like political. It was just political stuff at me, like a political attacks. Like he would watch some video, you know, and it was like attacking me over politics, and I didn't want. What is this? Answer this. What is this? And oh, like playing like Rachel Maddow clips and stuff, and I'm just like, is this how smart people talk? Is this how older smart people really? No. Yeah, I thought being older safe. No. So I learned something from it. I mean, a lot of things are connected where it takes something first to lead you to that point. So I was already in a low place. I was already low self-esteem, and I was already vulnerable to that. So getting home, but not a shape for a TV. Yeah, and then like hang up. And then it's like, are you still calling that girl? Like, what did I do? Because you saw some YouTube. What? And then I call back and be like, I'm so upset about that. Like, what? What are you talking about? He like this person, Crystal Ball, I guess, the news anchor or something. And okay, she seems nice. Like, I don't know. I don't really care about politics that much, you know. So anyway, now all this is like, I'm so glad it happened in a way that like I never had to meet the person. Like I said, I don't know what he looks like. I never met him, but I feel so lucky that I woke up to how foolish I was being, and I feel so lucky that I can understand now, like, you know, how much better I deserve. But at the same time, it didn't really go that deep. It was just, I thought, because this is an older person, it was some reflect on me, and I think I couldn't stand to feel that rejection on top of everything else in my life that I'd gone through. But it's yeah, exactly. Like yeah, I'm just grateful it didn't go any further than that. Yeah. But it's weird because this happened, and then people will be like writing me like, oh, you could be so happy with someone. Can you imagine if I met this person? Did I tell you they wanted to hang me upside down by my feet? Which is, you can kill someone that way. And people would be writing me like, if you could beat someone, and got like, I don't know. I mean, I put my foot in the water with that person just talking on the phone, and that was really not great. But yeah, like what Terry's saying, like I try to just be happy, like with not even needing any more, like not needing it to be some grand thing. But it's just because it's better than that. But all I was trying to offer to Jerry was more that, you know, that it might make the bright days in the future feel even brighter. Not that it doesn't have to be bright. Yeah, I did. Anyway, it was just an example of how, because if you remember me being really upset, that it was the only bright spot is when I would talk to you guys. I could feel good or feel I just started opening up more and more to you guys actually from that. What do you think about this? And do you think, and embracing that I'm like a real person, could I be really liked and not like something of advertising of something like, would you like me if I showed you more? Would you like me if I showed you more of how I am? Would you still like me? Because that became very, like, I don't like to overuse the word empowering, but it is, I think, empowering to accept yourself. And so I think if you could remember that time, then you would know it's coming from a personal experience of you can get really low. And yes, you can, like, today becomes, I didn't do anything today really to my makeup, but a good day, because it's not like that. Well, not even just that. I remember I have these videos, like some of the first nights when, like, there's one that famously people really like. I have it. I've reposted it, but then the channels would get taken down. Where I'm in like the shorts, and I'm reading from, it was probably Robinson Crusoe, and I'm on the couch, and like, I know the chat's not there. I don't have the chat saved, but I have the video saved. But you could see the chat, and I'm like, start like feeling like really good some type of way, and people realize like, wait a minute, she's like, what's not saying? It was late at night, because if something happened and I come on late, and whoever's there, not even thinking like, but I'm still going to read. And so even in that regard, because like again, I wasn't used to like being considered sexy or feeling that way with someone. So it was one of the first times of like someone watching and feeling like even a bit with myself. So that really started to empower me to feel like, well, this person doesn't like me, but other people do. That feels nice. And yeah, and so from there, it's just, I open up myself, and I don't need everybody to like me. I really don't. Maybe they're wrong because they don't, but I don't want to be a pretend thing so that people think that they like me because I'm displaying the right persona or something, Life is too short, Reading time. Sunday, because tomorrow we have our live on OnlyFans. So that means, and I didn't want the phone open in case John called, but I don't know if he's around. I don't have any other calls, so maybe I should get off. It has been a couple hours. Just checking. Nope. Well, I had a nice time. I hope you had a nice time. And yeah, you did. Even though it was doing whatever updates and whatever OnlyFans today, I didn't really miss much with me. I just miss being able to harass you. Oh. So I hope we sleep well tonight. Looking forward to our date tomorrow. I think time of the month being over, we should have some fun. Everyone liked last time. I love you.